Hello and welcome back to the stream. We are here for Nets versus the Miami Heat. It is the first game we play. Well, we've played one in about 8 days, so this team should be refreshed and ready to go. There's no excuses to not start as bad as we did against the Cavaliers. We started that one with one of the worst first halves I've ever seen, but this team should be rejuvenated as if they weren't in that previous game, and we've got to get off to an excellent start and get back to winning ways. This team is just putting up some ghastly numbers at the moment, defensively and offensively, um, which is it's a grave concern for this team because we just cannot. Like, we continue to dish up the same crap on a weekly basis, and it is. I mean, if you're delivering the same shit on the regular basis and it doesn't seem like any adjustments are arriving, then you're in for, an absolutely painful performance, if that's what the previous one was. The starting five for the Heat is right there. It is so on brand for Jimmy Butler to be out 7 games and return against us. That is the scenario here. And also, the Brooklyn Nets are running the same starting five that we have seen for far too long, that has shown no sizable difference in performance. So we are potentially set to witness the exact same shit that we have been watching for games and games and games on end. So, as I continuously say, we can only back the team that is playing. But the problem is that lineup is just not delivering as it should. And change needs to be made. Players need to be held accountable for playing shit, and the players that are playing well need to be rewarded. We haven't seen that, nearly enough, that level of accountability. So yeah, that is the scenario. Hold on a second. Okay. Alrighty. So you can see who's out for the Heat. Jaquez is out, and Kevin Love is out. Day'Ron Sharpe is obviously injured with that hyperextension of the knee when we played the Blazers, I do believe. We're not up 6-0. I can assure you of that. But yeah, that is the current situation as we stand right now. I don't know why the hell my bloody headphones are not working, which is actually really frustrating. So, yeah. Hopefully we go on a win streak and get back to 500. We are a long, long way from 500, Thomas. 6 games under. The Heat are 7 games over. Another important stat to note as well is the fact that we've conceded 110 points or more in the last 17 games, and that is the second longest streak in the entire NBA. The highest is Detroit. We are playing on a level similar to that of Detroit. With the win today, Detroit have more wins in the new year than we do. And we're already halfway through January. We've got a really tough run of games as well. So things may get worse before they get better. But yeah, it's just really a matter of saying fingers crossed, because I think that's all we can do right now. All we can do is pray, because it's very clear that whatever we propose, it's not gonna happen. Right? So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a real toughie. All right. We are getting ready to start the game. So yeah, we're not too far away. We're sitting 10th in the East, which is actually amazing because we were 13 and 9. So that means we've gone 3 in our last 13 games, and it is just, mate, if a team is going 3 wins and 13 losses in such a stretch, by golly, you should be sitting in like 13th or 14th on the table, as opposed to, well, where we are, which is 10th. Somehow still in the play-in. The Hawks are equally as bad. The Bulls were awful for some time, but then they unleashed Kobe White, and now look at him. He's been an absolute gun. He's been an absolute gun for the team. So that's why they've improved. And is it as simple as a little bit of luck? You know, Zach LaVine got injured, and then all of a sudden that problem that they supposedly had went away, and change was made, even though the hand was forced. And I mean, they're the beneficiaries of it right now. I don't know where the Bulls actually sit on the table, but they are higher than us, which is just amazing to think, because they have at times this season looked awful, but Levine's also returned, and now he's playing more of a facilitation sort of role. That being said, as I say all of this, the Bulls are trailing by 19 to the Cavs early in the second quarter. So they're obviously not going to be perfect every game, but it feels like a more passing-centric Levine and a more shot-centric Kobe White is a better Chicago Bulls, should I say. So yeah, that is the situation. I just need to see if there's any other injury news. I'm just checking that out at the moment. I think everything's pretty set. Noah Clowney threw down a filthy poster on one of the G League Warriors players. So even though he's an absolute twig, you would say that he definitely needs to get a crack in the NBA. We need to give him a bit of a look in, because I think we need to make change. We don't have a backup center as it currently stands with Day'Ron Sharp out. So yeah, that is the situation. I will look at the chat at the first time out of this game. Starting fives, in case you are unaware, it is Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Finney-Smith, Claxton. I should just know this off the top of my head. It should just be habitual at this point, because we say the same lineup every game. For the Heat, they're missing Kevin Love and Jaquez, who was starting. But they do get Jimmy Butler back after missing 7 consecutive games. So, of course, they have to get their good players back as soon as they play us. Of course they do. Because why else? Why else? Nothing like getting your starters back for a game against the Brooklyn Nets. Because, of course, nothing with this franchise has to be easy. Alright. So, the Heat are starting Lowry, Herro, Butler, Adebayo, and they're also starting Nikola Jovic, who is a second-year player, I do believe. I don't have my wireless headphones working, so I have to run with these ones instead. Alright. I beg that we get off to a good start, because as we said the other day, 34 points in a half of basketball, that is an absolute atrocity. Shambolic. So we need to heavily work things out here. And bro, the Heat are always an absolutely annoying matchup. We always have one of their players go off against us. If it's not Herro, it's Robinson. If it's not Robinson, it's Jaquez. If it's not Jaquez, it's Lowry. And if it's not Lowry, it's Adebayo. And that's all without me saying it's Butler. So they've got plenty of good weapons on this team, and then their skills amplify themselves when they come up against us. It's like you went to the Barclays Center, and all of a sudden you get a +5 skill boost on every stat. So the Heat are on a second night of a back-to-back. They should be partially tired. We have played one game since the 8th of January. There is no excuses for us to start slowly here. Got to be making our shots early. So jump ball will be Adebayo and Claxton. It is won by the Nets. And hopefully, as I say many a time, when we win the jump ball, hopefully that is not the only thing we're going to be winning today. Bridges, Claxton, back to Bridges, out to Johnson on the wing. Oh, mate, we are back. That was a shit pass to Bridges. 1-on-1. The drive on Butler. Knocks it out to Finney-Smith, and the 3 is off. That already looked like absolute trash. Mid-range jump shots for Mikal Bridges in recent memory have been rubbish. Jovic will actually start the possession for the Heat. It's now Butler who's doubled. Good rotations. Now Jovic out to Herro on the perimeter. The switch sees Claxton pick him up. Jovic will have to let it fly, and that hits back iron and a rebound for the Nets. So no score for either side in the opening minute. Bridges, for some reason, is wide open on a 3. Finney-Smith nearly got the tip in, but that couldn't be any more open of a jump shot for Bridges in the early going. Claxton with the chase down block, and that's a good recovery by him. So, well done by Clax there to help out Cam Johnson, because he's been a little bit of a traffic cone on defense. So, Jovic to the corner for Lowry. Swings it out to Herro. That is way too open, but well short. And somehow, it looked like Finney-Smith was in mud, because he was awfully slow reacting to that 3-point miss. The Heat on the second opportunity don't make it either. So, a minute and a half of play in, and no one has scored. And it will be Dinwiddie to Johnson, who is open. Top of the key, that is also off. And a rebound for the Heat. So, 2 minutes elapsed opening quarter. And the Heat look to score the first bucket of the game. It is Butler in a switch with Claxton. He'll go down the middle. He'll try draw 2 defenders, which he does successfully. And it's an easy two-handed flush for Bam Adebayo under the basket. So that's got to be better communicated from a Nets perspective. Johnson out to Dinwiddie, who pulls the trigger on a 3, and that is short. The rebound for Claxton. Dinwiddie's open again. That is practice. Shooting practice. And the first bucket of the game for the Nets comes after 2 and a bit minutes. But it is a very good open look. It is now Jovic who will switch, which means Johnson is now guarding Bam. The double arrives. Herro. Bounce pass. What is Butler doing? Wide open under the basket for 2. So, Dinwiddie up top to Claxton. Bridges. Looking for Dinwiddie in the post. He gets it, with Lowry having a little bit less size compared to Spencer. Johnson down the middle. The layup is badly off, and the rebound for Adebayo. And so Jovic will push the pace. There's an open lane, and he tacks and he scores. And that is an excellent bit of work by the Heat, who the broadcast have said, well, they play with a slow pace. That did not look anything close to a slow pace. And now the Heat, after another Nets miss, will look to attack the paint yet again. Herro, the drive down the middle, the kick out to Jovic, who shoots the 3. That is off, and the rebound by DFS. And, well, it's fair to say the Nets cannot score early. Need to attack the paint a little bit. That pass to the corner for Dinwiddie is now sent towards Bridges. That 3 is off, and it is well fought out on the glass by DFS, who recycles Cam Johnson the skip pass. Dinwiddie Airballed a fucking three-pointer. I don't know if Jovic blocked that, but it looked like he got a piece of it. We are 1 of 8 from 3. Why have we taken 8 threes in 4 minutes, bro? Great if the shot's actually going down, but it's just not at the moment. Adebayo in the mid-range over DFS. That hits back iron as well. So no one can score in the early going, and this is the way the game started yesterday for Miami. DFS for 3, that's also short. Can we just do something apart from... Oh my god, are we just going to shoot threes all game? At this point, it looks like that's the only plan we've got here. Bridges, another 3. That's off as well. How on earth have we taken this many threes in 5 minutes? Oh my god, every shot looks flat. Claxton doesn't get the block, but it was a bad miss by Butler, and it will be Nets ball on the side. But someone's just got to attack the basket here. You cannot be serious shooting 10 threes in the opening stanza, opening 5 minutes. You've made 1, and in not one of those 10 threes, you realize that you're shooting the ball like trash and not getting enough lift. See the ball go through the hoop, and then those threes will open up. Stop forcing it. Dinwiddie. Mate, what are we doing? Claxton's going to try and make something happen. Shoots over Butler and scores with the left hand. So we have had 2 two-pointers, and we have had 10 three-pointers in this game, and we're just about to reach the halfway point. If that doesn't scream awful shot selection, then I don't know what does. Bam out to Butler. And this is with the Heat not shooting well. So we don't even have a lead. With that being the case, Herro misses badly and a rebound for Claxton. So, gee, we've been let off. I'll tell you what. Dinwiddie to Bridges. Gonna face up Herro. They feed Clax under the basket, and Lowry had to wrap him up because there was a severe size disadvantage. I'm going to just grab my phone because I need it. In order to read the chat, so we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Alrighty. Man, the box score is just rough viewing. I'll tell you what, nearly halfway through a quarter, it is 8-5. That is just ghastly, bro. If we actually look at the Heat, they're shooting 4 of 12. Oh my god. The box score actually aligns. This is great. Because this did not happen. The last stream I did. It's been like that all season, but this is great. So now everything aligns at the bottom, so you can read it a little bit easier. So the Nets have not allowed a 3, but look at their shooting stats, bro. We are 2 of 12 from the field, and we've taken 10 threes. Go figure. Why are we bothering shooting this many threes? Bridges, Dinwiddie's taken 4, DFS has taken 2. The only guy who has not attempted a 3 is Clax, and he is the equal most field goals made out of any net on the floor right now. It honestly, if the Heat weren't, if they were shooting the ball well, we would be badly in the mud, because I'll tell you what, this is another horrific start offensively, man. Horrific start. What's my full name? That is private information I do not wish to give out. There'll be a time and place when that happens. The starters have just been shit. Shit. Okay. So 8-5. is the score. And fair to say, man, this has been a rough start. On the offensive side of the ball, man, 2 field goals made in nearly 6 minutes. We need to bring Cam Thomas on. If he does not come onto the court at this stage, I'm going to be fucking livid. And lo and behold, he has not brought Cam Thomas onto the court. What the actual fuck are we thinking, bro? You've scored 2 field goals in 6 minutes. Why do we not have him on the court? Claxton shooting a mid-range over Bam Adebayo. That's just shit. It's just so bad, bro. Oh my god. It's just like... It's just nothing going. Nothing going. Jovic in the corner. Extra pass. Butler lost it going up. Johnson was able to knock it away, and now Bridges. We even look passive on the break, bro. Bridges pulls up for 3. But I absolutely hate that psyche that we've got right there, because that should have been an automatic drive. Butler under the basket. Oh my god. 2 shots for Jimmy, and those are going to be the first free throws of the game. It is currently, well, it's been a very free-flowing opening quarter, but not a lot of makes when you compare them to the amount of misses we've seen. So 8 apiece, 5 minutes to play in the opening period, and it is Jimmy Butler at the free throw line with DSJ and Cam Thomas getting ready to check in for Spencer Dinwiddie and, I believe, Cam Johnson. So Johnson to the bench, and the same can be said for Spencer Dinwiddie. And so Dennis will return for the first time tonight, and it will be Cam Thomas who also gets a gig as well. So Butler made the first. Highsmith is in for the Heat. Both free throws have been made by Butler, and it is up to a 2-point lead for the Heat early going in this game, although 7 minutes have already elapsed. Claxton, hand off to Bridges, out to Thomas, and he travelled. First play, and our first turnover of the game. So that didn't take too long, did it? Thomas was actually really comfortable and responsible with the basketball the other day, but those are sequences that you want to try avoid. But they're equally unavoidable. That is just such a good cut by Kyle Lowry, and the screen was used to perfection. Mikal Bridges was trailing by about 5 or 6 feet. Far too easy. Probably more. Bridges the drive, and the layup is good. And we have not seen nearly enough polish at the rim like that. And it was good to see Mikal attack the cup. So 12-10. They're trying the same play, but this time better communication. So they feed it to Herro, back out to Jovic, and he's going to look for Butler, who's got Cam Thomas on him. Herro on the outside, forced into a pass. Butler the drive. The layup is good, and that's too easy as well. Cam Thomas, I mean, had his hands full on that sequence. Jimmy Butler, that is his bread and butter. So Bridges, another 3. That one's off. The rebound is secured by Miami, and they will push forward and be a little bit more assertive than we seem to be. They send it to the corner for Highsmith. They're trying to feed Butler in the post. He is trapped. They lose the ball. Herro try to get one up, but it is a turnover, and the Heat will have to get back. It is Finney-Smith to Thomas. The catch and shoot 3 is an air ball. My goodness. 2-on-1. Lowry just fucked up a shot, and Cam Thomas saves. Good defense by DSJ. And now the Nets need to capitalize. It's a 5-on-4, and it is an easy layup for CT. And that was, well, far too easy. The Heat didn't really have a clue, well, how to deal with that. It's 14-12, and the Heat have looked a little bit disjointed on the last couple of possessions. Herro out to Butler, and back to Herro with 7 to shoot. He's got DSJ on him. He's going to get it knocked away, and another steal for Dennis. Finney-Smith To the middle for Bridges. To the wing for Thomas. Yes! And we have a timeout at the 2:53 mark of the first. And it has not been offensively minded this first quarter, but the last few possessions by the Nets have embodied defense leading to offense. We've gotten a few easy looks via the means of, well, Miami turning the ball over and us being able to run in transition. And DSJ has been a pretty important part of that in the early going. Since he's come on, he's had a bit of a pretty good impact. I will say, you can see he's got a steal and a block, and those have led to fast break points for Cam Thomas, who has got 5, and he's also got a rebound as well. So we'll put those in the box score. Bridges has 5, and he's not shooting it too efficiently. Neither are any of the Nets for that matter. 14 threes is just not good enough. I mean, we've made our last couple, 2 of our last 4. But that being said, 14 is way too high of a volume when you're shooting 3 of 5 inside the arc. You're making the same amount of field goals as you are on the outside with 9 less shot attempts. So we've got to just be smarter. Yes, the looks are there, but when you know you're not making them and the confidence is low, you've just got to try attack. Good thing to see is that we've already got 2 steals and 3 blocks. That is an incredibly good sign on the defensive end. For the Heat, they're shooting 6 of 16, have not made a 3 yet. And as you can see, there is no Heat player with more than 2, aside from Butler, who's got 6. He's been to the free throw line, so he's not been too bad. They've actually had an assist on every one of their field goals, which bodes well for Miami. But obviously, if things slow up and the ball movement becomes a little bit more stagnant for them, they may be sensing a few issues. But Cam Thomas comes onto the court, and I don't know if it's coincidental or not. I don't know if it's more DSJ, but the scoring is starting to flow a little bit more freely. Alrighty. Pistons won. They did, which means that they've won more games in the new year than we have, which is just, wow. It's just a bit, I mean, is that how far we've fallen? Like, pretty sad that we've only won 1 game this year. I mean, granted, we haven't played a game in 8 days, but we've played 1 game in 8 days, so probably isn't a true depiction of the amount of losses we've had this year. But look, one of the keys of the game is holding the Heat team to under 110. In every game for the last 17 games, we have conceded 110 or more. And in games where the Heat score 110 or more, we actually, well, the Heat are 18-6 when they score 110 or more. So the stats would suggest that we are stuffed if we end up shipping off 110 plus. Not going to be in our favor. The Heat out of the timeout actually turned it over. Herro's been a bit turnover prone in this opening period. He's had 2 or 3 turnovers. And the Nets, well, they're capitalizing off it or look to capitalize on it. In this possession, we've got O'Neal on the court now. So it's him, Claxton, Thomas Bridges, and DSJ. Thomas out to Dennis. He will drive down the middle, try to create a bit of separation. He shoots the mid-range. DSJ has got to put the mid-ranges away because he'll make 1 every 6. And outside of that, it is just shambolic. Adebayo to Robinson on the outside. He's picked up by O'Neal. Adebayo gets into the paint. Highsmith is blocked by Bridges. And we run the break again. It's DSJ. Good change of pace. And it will be 2 free throws. A nice little bit of changing gears there. Bridges with the verticality this time. So that's our 4th block in the game. And it really helps when, you know, the Heat can't make a 3 and they're trying to break that curse on the interior, but we're blocking that outlet as well. So this has been by far our best defensive quarter in some time. And we held OKC to 47 points. So even though the offense has looked very dire, the defense is helping us in that regard. So Dennis at the free throw line made the first, and the second free throw is off, and a rebound for Adebayo. So first free throws come up half empty. Robinson on the perimeter. Oh my god, that is a wild pass to Bam Adebayo as he rolled to the basket. And it's Robinson who will be hit with the turnover, and the Nets can yet again score points off these turnovers, which is proving to be a good source of offense. The Heat of 4 turnovers. It's Claxton, the handoff to Bridges, who nearly fumbled it. Well, he did. Nearly lost it, but was able to regain. He did not get the shot up cleanly, but he got it back, and now Claxton with the left hand. It's good, and the Nets get it up to 4. And an 8-0 burst. Well, if you could call it a burst, it's been a 2-minute stretch where we've scored 8. The Heat have not scored, mildly because they haven't been able to get a shot up. But Bam is able to cancel that out and score for 2, and ends that stretch right there. So a good high percentage look. And now it's Cam Thomas. Good screen set by O'Neal. He will get it back. Cam Thomas, he drives on Robinson, shoots on the baseline, and scores for 2. I actually don't know why he didn't take it all the way to the cup, because he had Robinson reeling, and the Nets are back up by 4. Martin, Robinson, Richardson, now Adebayo in the post. He's doubled by Dennis, and it's good work. Richardson in the corner. That 3 is off, and the rebound by Dennis. Good work on the boards and good rotation to force the miss. It's Dennis into the paint. He will wait for things to pan out. Thomas on the outside the drive, and he gets the floater to go, and it's a 6-point lead with 22.6 to play in this first quarter. And with Cam Thomas on the court, the Nets offense has looked far better. Far better. It adds another layer to our offense, and we've got the defensive pieces on the court right now that are delivering and helping us in getting things moving. It's Martin, and we have the foul to give. So Cam Thomas will commit the foul up top, and there will be another opportunity for the Heat to generate something and make the available substitutions to allow that to happen. And it will be the Heat who will give it to Robinson. No room to shoot, although he does put one up, and that is well short. And that is a good first quarter by the Nets. A very, very slow start out the blocks offensively, but you look at the defense, and we held the Heat to 16 first quarter points, which is exactly the precedent you want to set. But it was the bench yet again. The guys coming off the bench, that backcourt duo of Cam Thomas, well complemented by DSJ, who plays with pace, has good energy, plays good defense. He's allowed us to, capitalize on those good defensive possessions we're getting. Claxton has a block, Bridges has a block, DFS has a block, and look, I couldn't really ask for much more from this team in the opening quarter. We've held the Heat to 7 of 20 shooting. They have not made a 3. They've only been to the free throw line twice. So that supplements a 16-point first quarter for Miami, a quarter which, it was because of Jimmy Butler scoring 6 and Bam Adebayo scoring 4 that they even got close to 16 points. The Nets got 9 from Cam Thomas off the bench, and you will notice as soon as Cam Thomas has come onto the court, we have lowered the 3-point frequency. And notably, it's because we've got a little bit more playmaking, a little bit more purpose, and thus we're able to, force the overcommit on a closeout and be able to drive to the basket because of that facilitation that DSJ provides. DSJ's been very good. He's got a steal and a block. He's got a couple of rebounds, a dime. He's been to the free throw line. He's done a little bit of everything, but Cam Thomas is the star of the show. In the opening quarter, he's got 9 points and a rebound. Bridges has also got 5 points, albeit on bad efficiency. but he does have 2 steals, a block, and he's also got 4 boards and 2 dimes. So he's done a little bit of everything in the opening quarter, and he did get better as the quarter wore on. So a good quarter for the Nets. 3 offensive boards in there as well. What more can you say, really? It's been a good first quarter. 22-16. And look, there's been some open looks for the Heat, but you know what? That being said, for the most part, like a quarter where you get 4 blocks and a couple of steals, that is a good return, and definitely reflects how well you've been playing on defense. This game is like when the NBA players lost their powers in Space Jam. Well, yeah, I mean, for the opening 5 minutes, it looked pretty dire. This is how we should play against teams. I'm liking our defense right now. Yeah, well, I mean, they're missing a few open shots, the Heat, and it is on the second night of a back-to-back, but you can only play the competition in front of you, and right now we're playing well against that opposition. Adebayo, man in the middle, he's going to put up a mid-range and be well short on it, and the rebound by Claxton. So they have looked out of rhythm in the early going. Bridges to the bench, and on comes Lonnie Walker, who's got it here. He flings it to O'Neal, had Robinson in the air. Excellent dump-off pass to Claxton, and he throws it down with authority, and he's probably going to get hit with a delay of game. But that is an excellent dime by O'Neal. I thought he was going to fling it to the corner. But instead, he was able to have that excellent peripheral vision to find Claxton to the right of him who would cut to the basket. So, great bit of playmaking by O'Neal. Richardson early offense, forced into a pass to Martin in the corner, who has torched us in the past. Robinson on the move. That 3 is off. The rebound has to be Nets ball. How on earth is that the Heat ball? The Heat have still not made a 3-pointer, so they are looking... Well, they're not looking like a team sitting 4th or 5th in the East. And the Nets are playing, well, a lot better, looking more cohesive on the offensive side, finding a few more open holes in the Heat defense. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. These defensive 3-second calls do my head in, bro. Who got hit with it this time? A bailout of sorts. 11 minutes to play. So 24-16. And the free throw by Jay Rich is good. So it's a 7-point game in this opening quarter. Second quarter, should I say. Living in the past is not good, ladies and gentlemen. So, Adebayo. Pass to Richardson. We're playing a bit of zone here. Richardson will shoot in the mid-range, and he's well short. The rebound by Claxton, who is playing extended minutes because Dayron isn't there to, well, bide that time with Clax on the bench. Clax gets into the paint and exploits the size mismatch, and Highsmith has no answer. He scores off the window and has an opportunity at an and one. The Nets are up 9 and looking pretty positive. What's my name? I told you this before, my guy. Private information. You don't need to keep asking the question. Just respect the decision. All right. Clax makes the free throw. 27-17. My name is not relevant to what I'm doing at all. You knowing doesn't impact in any way. Oh my God. That is an incredible alley-oop jam by Bam. He wasn't even facing the basket. He was on the way down and was still able to finish the job. And it is back down to 8. It is Walker to the corner for DSJ. They're going to look to feed Claxton under the basket again. And we've got a 3-second call. And it will be on the Miami Heat. So Claxton is, well, he's forcing a few issues for the Miami Heat defense here, because there's a, well, they're trying to collapse in the paint to ensure that Highsmith is assisted, but you've got to do better in knowing when you're in the paint and when you're not, because that is just dumb. I mean, that's just dumb, that decision. Here is Claxton again. He's going to take on the size mismatch again, but this time Richardson does well. I think Clax needed to probably utilize the body bump a little bit more. The skip pass to Richardson. Now Highsmith in the corner. Back to Richardson. Walker does well laterally, knocks it away, and O'Neal gets it ahead to Dennis. The drive, he picks up his dribble, back to the trailing O'Neal. Yes! And it's a 12-point lead in the blink of an eye, and we are in a good position in the early going. Bam on the outside. The switch defense is working at the moment. Loving the energy this bench is playing with. And Claxton oozes energy as well. Even though he's a starter, it's Richardson who misses another three. Oh my god, another foul. Well done by Dennis there and Lonnie to knock it away twice. The bench has been far superior. I honestly think you need to run the bench as the starting five. Like, seriously, Dennis is playing like a starter. Cam needs to start. O'Neal's actually playing really well in this game as well. Bam has to shoot the mid-range, and he's short on that one as well. And the rebound by O'Neal. Good defense by Royce. Forcing Bam into the mid-range jump shot, and it's a bad look. O'Neal, another three. In line, and it was a good screen by Clax, but unfortunately that one wasn't nailed by Royce. So now Martin on the perimeter. The switch. Claxton picks him up. The switch again. Richardson in the corner. The drive. Step back two in the mid-range again. That one's off as well. They cannot score the Heat. Claxton. Dennis. And we're going to get a timeout by JV. But what a damn opening 16 minutes where you hold the Heat to 19 points. What a great start to this second quarter as well. We can extend the lead thus more. The Nets are not shooting the ball well from three, but granted, they started 1 of 10 in the opening 3 minutes of the game, it felt like. So they've made 3 of their last 6. So if recency bias says anything, it's that we're shooting the ball well with this bench unit. The field goal percentage is pretty good on the interior. And Cam Thomas has got 10 points. He's been pretty superb, man. 10 points, and he's only got the 1 rebound. So you already know he doesn't assist. Dennis Smith is doing that job. He's got 3 dimes. Royce O'Neal's got 3 points, 2 boards, and 2 dimes as well. This bench has been superb. No two ways about it. It's really that simple. And you know what? I would not be opposed to playing Watford over Dinwiddie. Because, like, Spencer played 7 minutes and 1 dime, and the ball was not pinging around when he was playing. So, as I said, there is more purpose with this bench because Dennis is turning that defense into offense, and the fast break points actually have a bit of kick, a bit of punch. Bridges has done all right, but Claxton's been really, really good in the 15 minutes he's played. He's basically played the entire first half. He's got 9 points and 6 boards, and it's a no-brainer to play him when the Heat are very, very undersized for the most part. 18 rebounds already, so it's been a pretty heavy rebounding game, but the Heat have already got 4 turnovers. I don't buy that for a second. There's no way they only have 4 turnovers. They've got to have way more turnovers than that. But you can see the Heat just cannot score. They've got 6 points from Bam and Butler. No one else has more than 2. They're shooting 27 or 29% from the field, and they have not made a 3. They've barely been to the free throw line. So things are not particularly going well. And one of their points in the second quarter has come off a technical free throw. So everything's... Well, not everything's going right because we're not shooting the ball at an optimal rate, but the defense is basically the best I've seen it in a long time, forcing him into some really bad shot selection, and it's just been a really superb start by this lot. Let's get DeJounte Murray and Ben Simmons return and we get a 6 seed. I don't even know if I actually said in the off season, I did a full off season video and I said I wanted DeJounte Murray in the off season. Now that his value's down, you probably have to go for it, right? Much better guard than Dinwiddie is. Thomas, the good bit of work there to free himself up and score the floater out of the timeout. He's got 12 points in the game and he's nearly outscoring the Heat by himself. Not really, but he wouldn't be getting destroyed if it was him versus the entirety of the Heat. Look at O'Neal doing an excellent job to deny it to Bam. Please get the board. And it's going to be, unfortunately, Heat ball. But I tell you what, O'Neal needs to be given a lot of credit because they were trying to look for Bam in the post, but Royce O'Neal doing an absolutely brilliant job to deny that pass to Bam, and a pass which would allow them to exploit the mismatch. They're not giving the Heat anything easy at the moment. Herro's back in the game. Robinson to Martin under the basket. To the corner for Highsmith, who pulls the trigger. You live with those, and that's an air ball. And it is knocked to Walker, who gets it ahead. He thought there was a foul in there, but it's not gonna be. They try to get it to Herro. Dennis saves it. And now Walker in transition. The three is well short. Dennis gets the board, and we can slow things up and work something out here. I think you have to give it to Cam Thomas. Instead, it's going to be Walker, who tries to take on Robinson. The step back two. No foul. Rebound by Herro. And I would have given it to Cam Thomas there. I would have given it to Cam Thomas. It's Bam who will shoot another mid-range high off the window. That doesn't go. And another board for the Nets. So, mate, the misses keep piling up for the Heat. And the percentage keeps getting lower and lower. Walker out to Thomas. Pulls the trigger on a three. That is too long. And the rebound by Caleb Martin is going to push. Drive on Thomas. And he misses. There's going to be a foul. And it's going to be on Cam Thomas, who was the last line of defense. 16 bench points to 1. And that is a huge reason why the lead sits at 14. Because the last, 7 or 8 in-game minutes have arisen. Or in the last 7 or 8 minutes, it's been really bench v bench. And the difference in bench points is embodied on the scoreboard. It is Martin at the free throw line who converts. And if there is one more make in here, they would have made more free throws in this quarter than points outside of the free throws. Bam to the bench. Lax is going to the bench. Finney-Smith is in. The Heat have brought on Thomas Bryant. I can already sense a Thomas Bryant legacy game here. He doesn't play too many minutes for the Heat, but you already know we'd be the kind of team to absolutely play him into form. So 2 makes for the Heat. They have scored as many points as we have seen minutes in this second quarter. 5 points, 5 minutes. The Nets lead by 12, and it is Dennis who will facilitate. Walker on the outside. Dennis going to drive down the middle. Goes vertical and scores. Took on the contact of Thomas Bryant. There was no answer, and Dennis has that athleticism. He had the runway, so he was always going to be able to tower over. And now it's Bryant on the perimeter, who will get it out to Herro. And now the switch. Finney-Smith picks him up. It's good defense. Herro. Oh, that's tough. Well done by Doe. Dennis gets it ahead to Cam Thomas. Robinson is on the last line, and it's going to be... How is that not a foul? Bro, every single player gets that foul except the Nets, it feels like. Every player on the Nets, you put on that uniform and all of a sudden, you get ignored. So, Walker will trigger in. Finney-Smith out to Thomas. And he'll get it out to Dennis, who's left alone for 3. And that doesn't get enough lift. So, I would have liked Dennis to attack, because we know how good he is. Herro. Bryant back to Herro. The drive on Dennis. The spin. And Dennis knocked it away, and Herro will shoot 2. As he was on the way up. So 2 shots coming up for Herro. And so they've only gotten 2 points from the field in this quarter. So it's been really rough for Miami in this opening quarter, and I guess they're very lucky that we have not been on the ball, because it could have been a lot better for this Nets team if they could actually make their shots in the early going. Herro at the line makes the first, and he's pretty reliable from there. So the second free throw for Herro is good, and the lead is back down to 12 as we exceed the halfway point of this first half. The Nets up 12, but they've brought in the majority of their starters. We are playing a small ball lineup. No Claxton. Cam Thomas is in. Every other starter is on the court. The Heat playing a bit of zone. Dinwiddie. Oh my God. Cam Thomas is going to bail us out here. Nope. Johnson has an open three, and that's not got enough lift. And Doe nearly chased up the rebound, but it's going to be Heat ball. Immediately, though, you just see the difference in our offense. Like, it took 7 seconds. Sorry, should I say until 7 seconds left on the shot clock to actually get something going. You know? Didn't look like we had much direction. Jimmy Butler responds with the 2. And, bro, the starters have just been so shit. The combination just does not work. Thomas, good cut by Johnson, easy layup. And it's a great dime by Cam Thomas. He's gotten a lot better at that. Not going up by himself, acknowledging that he does have assistance to help bail him out. Butler is doubled, and now Bridges will pick him up. Good cut by Martin, and on the last couple of possessions, we've seen them attack, and they've been very successful, to say the least. So, final 5 minutes of the first half. We've got to close this one out strongly. Dinwiddie to Thomas. Thomas, pass. That's knocked away. Turnover. Robinson. Out to Butler. Up top. The screen and the switch. Dinwiddie to the corner. Or not Dinwiddie to the corner. Dinwiddie guarding. Butler now on the wing. Drives. And that is a foul. So second personal for Cam. And it's going to be free throws for Butler. So, God, where would the Heat be if they could not convert their free throws? Or they didn't get free throws, should I say. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We're going on a little hiatus. You will be able to see in the top right of your screen. The next watch party will be on January the 26th. Cam Thomas to the bench. And the Heat made their first free throw. So Claxton back in. He's basically played the entire first half. And it's not surprising because Clax has had an incredible amount of rest. So he should be well regenerated for this game. Butler makes both. Perfect from the line. 37 to 29. The Heat have had 9 free throws, converted them all. That is the only saving grace for them at the moment. Dinwiddie to the corner for Johnson. The pump fake and the 3. That is off. The rebound by Claxton. And he gives it out to Dorian Finney-Smith. Johnson. The screen by Dinwiddie. Looking for a pass as he picked up his dribble. Finney-Smith, please put one up, bro. 2 seconds, man. Finney-Smith blows the layup. The rebound secured by the Heat. Oh my God, how have the starters looked so much worse? Dinwiddie decked Butler as he read the pass. To the corner for Johnson. The 3 is off. No, it's not. Yes, it is. And it's Nets. It's not going to be Nets ball. It's going to be Heat ball. Off hands. Fucking idiot, Cam Johnson, bro. This guy needs to go to the bench. He's playing... he's actually making Joe Harris look good. He's making Joe Harris look good, bro. Joe Harris wasn't even this bad. At least Joe actually got the amount of minutes he deserved. Claxton with a strong board. He's going to push. Go right down the middle. Attack Bryant. The Euro. It's off. Bridges the follow. That is excellent play by Clax. And that's more assertive than it feels like Dinwiddie plays with. Herro the drive. The layup high off the window is good. That's a tough make. And, I mean, with Clax's wingspan and the extra amount of height he's got on Herro, those are always going to be difficult shots to get up. But he finds a way, and the Heat cut it back down to 8. It's Bridges to Johnson. And now they'll look for Claxton. Back to CJ. Going to take it into the paint, out to Bridges. Three-pointer is short. The rebound by Butler. That not once did we attack the paint on that possession. Not once. That's where you needed Dennis to try breach it. Robinson is off on the 3. They have still not made a three-pointer in the game. Bridges. Drive. Gets into the paint. Shoots the mid-range. And he makes. And it is a timeout for Miami. Lead back up to 10. And it is the Nets in command. They have led the majority of the first half. And it's been a really, really good performance by this team on the defensive side. The offense is not doing good things, but the defense has been the saving grace of this Nets team in this first half. There is a lot of tough shots needing to be made from a Miami perspective. They are making a few, but they are missing a crap ton more. They are shooting 0% from 3, and this is a team, or this is a Nets defense who has conceded 120 or 110 points in their last 17 games. They are defending the 3 nearly as bad as any other team, or nearly the worst compared to any other team. So this is an incredibly out of the blue sort of result for the Nets at the moment. The Heat are shooting it a lot better on the interior, but overall 29, 30%, no good. 9 free throws is really helping them out, but they've only got one player in double digits for points. They are really finding things tough. The Nets, well, where would we be if we had not taken 23 three-pointers and shot those at 17%? We would be living right now if we could have just attacked the paint a little bit more. If Cam Johnson could actually make a 3, if Bridges could make a 3, heck, if anyone could make a 3, because right now we are really struggling in that respect. Cam Thomas is leading the way for the Nets points-wise with 12. He's the only Net in double figures. But I tell you what, it's been a really good shift by the Nets on the defensive side. It's been the bench that have actually really fueled it. You can see in the plus-minus, O'Neal, Dennis, Cam, and Walker, all excellent. I actually think if we want to experiment something, I did allude to this a little bit earlier, but Trendon Watford needs to play with the starters. I think he can open up some much better looks than Spencer. Watford plays with a little bit more pace, a little bit more purpose. He actually gets into the paint, so if he's not facilitating, he's probably going to get a good look, and you know he's going to get up a high percentage, more reliable look, because those push shots about 5 to 10 feet away from the basket are money. So we need to test that out. Right now, though, we've had 5 blocks, 5 steals in the half. That is a great return, a really good return, and you mix that in with not conceding a three-pointer in the entire first half, and you've got a recipe for success on the defensive side. The offense, not so much, but we have benefited greatly from the defense delivering. So the Heat will bring it ahead. It's Lowry, Butler, Herro, Martin, and Adebayo in the game. The Nets have their starters, and now it's Butler out to Herro. The screen arrives, and now the switch. Herro, is he going to shoot the 3? No, he drives, and Claxton, good defense. Herro, that was a tough shot and good defense by Dinwiddie. It's a 5-on-4. Got to attack this. Finney-Smith, the Euro, and he was, well, fouled frustratingly by Tyler Herro, who probably wished he got the call on the other end. So Finney-Smith at the free throw line to shoot a couple. He does not get to the free throw line too much. But these free throws need to be capitalized on. So, Doe at the line to get the lead back up to 12. The first is good. It rattles in. So 42-31. Cannot recall the last time. Well, last game I was saying I cannot recall the last time a Nets team scored 34 points in a half. As it stands, I cannot believe we've conceded 31 points to this stage. When was the last time we held a team to 31 points in a half? Doe makes both. It's back up to 12. And we've got about 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Let me know your first half thoughts. Make sure to drop a like on it. And if you would like to donate and support the show in that way, you are also able to do that. Bam is short on another mid-range. Those usually fall when he is switched on, but it looks like he is nowhere near his best today, at least for the moment. Claxton faked the pass to the cutting Dinwiddie along the baseline. Instead, Bridges takes it in from up top, and he was able to miss that. Bam to Herro, back to Bam. Good verticality by Doe, and he forces the miss. Well done by Doe. And now we have the numbers. Finney-Smith is open for three. Bro, how many threes are we going to miss? This defensive performance, I tell you what, has been wasted because we should be up by about 20, it feels. Herro to Bam, back to Herro. There's no room for the three. They're going to look to feed Bam in the post. 7 to shoot. Bam, knocked away, and another steal. It's Bridges who will take it ahead. Layup, got it over Highsmith. And this is just electric, what we're doing on the defensive side. Every possession turns into a stop, and we are playing with an energy on the defensive side that I can't recall ever seeing this season. Lowry will drive. Tries to take it to Dinwiddie. The turnaround to is short. The rebound for Clax. Get one up. Bridges. Pull up three. And look, I mean, I don't think I was expecting the threes to fall when we're like 4 of 25 or some shit. But I tell you what a first half on the defensive side. So many good defensive acts. To, you know, end up leading this one by 14 at halftime. Unbelievable. Unbelievable shift in the first half by the lads. Cam Thomas has gotten 12 off the bench, and he leads the way scoring-wise for this team, shooting it highly efficiently. But as far as I'm concerned, like, the team is not playing well offensively. You need to have Cam in the game. Second half, he's got to push 27, 28 minutes by the game's end, because 13 minutes and a half is not going to cut it. We're shooting 16% from 3, so I don't want to see us shoot more than 45 threes in this game. 40 threes even, because right now, the 3-point percentage output, or the 3-point output, it's like JV constantly goes on about shooting 25 threes in a half, wanting to shoot 45 to 50 threes a game. That's all good and well if you're going to shoot them at a good efficiency. We've made 4. We might as well have shot 13 threes, because we're not getting nearly a good enough output for the volume of shots. We're shooting 37% overall, shooting well inside the arc and getting to the free throw line. Not too much, but when we do, we usually put them to the sword. Clax has got 9 points and 11 rebounds, and they have been some big rebounds, because it's one thing to hold the Heat to, well, 31 points, but a huge part of that is being able to box out and get the rebound and ensure that those offensive rebounds aren't being converted to points. So the more offensive rebounds you can avoid giving away, the better. And we've done an excellent job of, well, ensuring that they don't get those offensive rebounds. The Heat have only had one offensive rebound, which has led to them getting out rebounded by 8. They have not made a 3 in the entire first half. Granted, they've only taken 12. I don't know where they rank for volume of threes, but they are not shooting well. And they've had 11 field goals made in the entire half, which is just baffling. I mean, we're used to giving that away in one quarter. Sometimes in 7 or 8 minutes of the first quarter. It is absolutely baffling to me how this is the stat line right now for the Heat. They've got 10 points from Butler, but there is no other player who has scored more than 6. Bam Adebayo's got 6 and 8, but he is really struggling from the mid-range, and Herro hasn't really had too many open looks. I guess the silver lining for Miami is they haven't made a 3. They've only made 11 field goals in the game, which is nearly the same amount of free throws they've made. But the silver lining is they're only down 14, and it's not one of those 20, 25-point halftime deficits, which are very difficult to make up. So I do wish that it was a very similar margin we faced at halftime against Cleveland in Paris. But regardless, I'm taking this lead when we've only scored 45 points in a half and missed as many threes as we have. Those threes cannot be taken. I think it's very clear the threes are just not falling. We're getting these good looks on the interior. If you're going to have Claxton on the court, he's played a team-high 20 minutes. That has got to be something you exploit in the second half, because he's getting a lot of good looks when you drive it and you're able to draw that defender, and you have good facilitating guards that can sort of allow those overcommits on the closeouts to happen. Inevitably, there is going to be opportunities for those dump-off passes and open dunks, and Claxton feeds off of those. So 9 points, I think we've got to really do more than that in this second half. He's got, well, he's a plus 18 in the game. He's been huge. Huge to what we've done and the success we've felt. Dennis only played 11 minutes, but he was pretty superb when he was on the court as well. I think the really telling sign is we've got players who have... Nearly every single player has a steal or a block. Cam Thomas doesn't have a steal or a block. Cam Johnson doesn't, but he's been involved in a couple of knockaways. O'Neal doesn't have a steal or block, but he's played really good defense in the post on Bam. But everyone else has at least a steal or at least a block. And that is a huge reason why we're winning this game right now. We talk about the team needing to play as a collective. You're not going to win a game of basketball if you've got slackers. And especially with a team who doesn't have a clear number one, you need every single player to deliver. No excuses. Whether that is defensive or offensive, you need the impact to be felt. You need that impact to be felt. And it's fair to say at the moment, at least on the defensive side, and maybe in Cam Thomas's case, the offensive side, we're seeing a bit of everything from every single individual. There hasn't really been any shortcomings that I could probably complain about in the first half. The offense has struggled, but what we haven't done on offense, we have done on defense. And even when the game started, even though we weren't scoring, you could see the defense was a little bit improved. And also that's mixed in with the Heat playing on a second night of a back-to-back. You know, these are the games we need to win, and we need to capitalize on the weakness that is fatigue. So that's basically the overall stats. If we look at both teams, you can see the bench points, clear disparity. And those were the minutes we really put them to the sword. You can see the rebound, assist, steal, and block numbers. We also haven't turned the ball over. Well, we have, but only 3 times, and it's come from our bench. The Heat, who I don't know if they're a very big turnover team. There's no way they've only turned it over 6 times. I refuse to believe that, because we've got 5 steals and 6 blocks. I don't know if blocks turn into turnovers, but that's probably partially the reason why. Well, The turnovers are a huge reason why we were able to get our offense going. Because at the start of the game, it really was slacking off. We beat the Heat over there, then we lost, then we won at home against a really depleted Heat team. So if we win today, it's a 3-1 victory in the season series. Overall, those are the stats right there. I just want to see these stats. Any relevance? Rebounds, we're good. Turnovers, both teams pretty responsible. Assists, bang on dead even. Field goal percentage, ours is pretty bad. Free throw percentage, the Heat's are pretty good. Blocked shots, they barely block any. 3-point percentage, the Heat are third. So for them to be 0 of 12, that is a ridiculous number. And I tell you what, we're 29th in the league for steals. So the fact we already have 5 steals, testament to this team for actually waking up on the right side of bed this morning, because if they didn't, well, we could have had a few issues. But those are the stats. It is 45-31 at the half. And yeah, that is the situation as it currently stands. I've been telling everybody that our starters is our defensive lineup and our bench players is our offensive lineup. I don't even think it's that. I actually think the bench are better. At least in recent memory, the bench are better. Dennis Smith, quality. I actually think he's a better point guard than Spencer. At least based on product this season. Cam Thomas is the offense we need, but I do think Dennis really helps Cam Thomas because of that defensive work. So not only is he able to cover for Cam Thomas at stages, but he's also able to, because he's able to get those steals and get those defensive stops, Dennis is a very energetic, athletic guard. He's going to be looking to play with that pace and energy he possesses as much as possible. And that's sort of a very similar impact to when Ben Simmons was playing. Like, Ben pushes the pace, he runs with pace, and he can get stops. So they're very similar plays, even though they're not nearly the same stature. They're very similar plays in terms of what they do to help Cam Thomas out. And look, I've also seen discourse about Cam Thomas re-entering the starting lineup, and people have been saying, well, the only way Cam Thomas gets back into the starting lineup is if Ben Simmons is also playing. To the same effect, I feel like if Dennis Smith started, I actually think you can start Cam Thomas. Like, I actually want to see a lineup of Dennis, Cam, Bridges, Doe, Claxton. Because, my goodness, Cam Johnson has been useless today. And I'm not usually a hater. I did praise Cam Johnson when he was good in our losing streak, but absolutely rubbish Cam Johnson has been. Dennis Smith reminds me of Edmund Sumner. Yeah, he is a bit of a spark plug, but Dennis is a little bit more... I don't think he's more athletic, but I feel like Dennis Smith is more... He's probably more renowned for making the right play. I feel like Sumner was a little bit rash in decision-making at times, but overall, man, it's been a pretty damn good first half defensively. When I actually, well, update the scores here, we scored 23 points, so it was marginally better, and we held the Heat to 15 points. 15 points in a damn quarter. And we've done it for 2 successive quarters. Fair play, man. We're playing well. Really, really well. Really well. So, only way is up. Only way is up, man. We've just got to get the offense going, man. It would start by not shooting 25 threes when you know you're only making 4 of them. Cam Johnson needs to drive the basketball, for God's sake. the problem is when you have all these blokes that can shoot the three, none of them actually have the ability to take it in because they're all spot-up shooters. They're not... There's so many sequences where we just shoot threes and we never, ever attack the rim. Like, it should be a no-brainer. From minute one, you shouldn't establish with the opposition that you're going to be missing threes the entire quarter by starting off poorly. You've got to... If you at least... You know... If you don't give him that opportunity to realize that they can be comfortable guarding the three-point line, then look, they're not going to know what the right way to go about it is. If you set the tone immediately and say you're going to attack the basket, then that's going to force the Heat to sort of sag off a little bit more. And then those three-pointers may actually arise. Because there hasn't been too much driving and kicking out. Because we haven't provided enough rim pressure. So, second half, that's going to be the key focus. Because we've done well when we actually attack the rim. Mikal Bridges is 4 of 6 from inside the arc. And he's 1 of 7 from outside. So, if that doesn't scream... like him needing to change the shot tendency from the perimeter, then I don't know what does, to be frank. So there is a good 2 quarters to play, 24 minutes. There is plenty of time. Just as we were able to hold the Heat to 31 points in a half, and, you know, the surprise that came with that, very easily we can concede 60 points and lose the game. So, second half, it's going to be imperative that we improve offensively. We need to score about 55 points at least. Then you're asking a lot of Miami. We need to crack, I reckon, 110 points to win this game. That'd be a 65-point half. But look, we should be far better. We have got 3 days of rest, and the Heat have travelled and are playing on the second night of a back-to-back. So we should be well poised to actually get the dub here in the second half. I don't know if the Heat are going to catch fire, but I think they're going to have a better second half than the first half, for sure. So, big second half here. We need to well and truly ensure that we put this game to bed nice and early. It's Lowry on the outside, the drive. Pump fake is not bitten on by Cam Johnson. Adebayo, the body bump. We collapse, and bam, Adebayo misses. Claxton looks like he got hit. Bridges into the paint. Good collapse. Lowry's going to be hit with the foul. And he is not happy, because that was a good collapse of the defense by the Heat. They're going to double team, but they're also going to play zone, which means that they can double team. It's a great defensive scheme that they've got going. Claxton on the perimeter. Going to give it to Bridges. It's a foul on Butler, and Claxton was taken down as Butler tried to maneuver through that screen. So a couple of early fouls in the third quarter for the Miami Heat, and the Nets have to attack the rim even more. There's even more reason for us to do it, because they're already on 2 personals, so you commit another foul, and all of a sudden, we could be in the bonus very quickly. That is a terrible pass by Spencer. What is he doing? Get the shot up. Bam. He's going to back down Clax. The double arrives. Lowry, swing, Herro in rhythm. That 3 doesn't go down, so the drought continues. Bridges. Attack him. Attack him. Please, Bridges. The drive. Oh, that's an excellent move. And there you go. Exhibit A of why you drive. Not only to get to places, but also to score baskets. Knocked away by Finney-Smith. and it will remain Heat ball, but they have looked incredibly out of sorts to open this second half. A couple of fouls, a miss, ball knocked away on another sequence. Herro out to Lowry to the corner for Jovic. There's another foul, and this time it is Dinwiddie off the ball. So a 16-point lead early going in the third quarter. Lowry across to Herro from the inbounds. Bounce pass to Bam, knocked away by Dinwiddie, and he's able to get the steal. Bounce pass to Finney-Smith. We have the numbers. Please make this Johnson. Waits for the defender to go by, and he fucking misses. What an absolute pretender of a basketball player. You were getting paid $25 million to miss wide open threes, and Herro converts the first three of the game for the Miami Heat. That is just fucking trash, Cam Johnson. So fucking terrible. Oh my god. Bridges to Dinwiddie. I do not want to see Cam Johnson shoot another three. I don't want to see any net for that matter, because Bridges has just missed another one. Herro pulls up again. Same spot he converts. And already 2 threes made. And mate, they will score as many threes in 5 minutes as we have scored in the entire game. And the Heat were 0 of 12. It is so on brand for us to do this. Bridges, the drive. That's blocked by Bam. And it's Lowry who gets it ahead to Butler. That's such an easy cut. You got to call a timeout. That is so fucking trash. And it starts from that Cam Johnson missed three that was wide open when we had a transition possession. It is so summed up in that possession alone. We had a 5-on-2 and we go for the three-pointer in the corner. A player who is shooting absolutely abysmally in the last few games. He's been just about, our worst player for the minutes he's getting. And then you let the Heat go on an 8-0 run and just slice the deficit in half in the space of 1 minute. It's all in that. All in that. My goodness. Cam Thomas is 5 of 8, Steve. But yeah, I get your point. It's just, I do not understand how he keeps starting Cam Johnson, bro. Hold your players accountable. Cam Johnson is playing worse than when Cam Thomas was starting, bro. If Cam Thomas and Dennis playing the way they are off the bench isn't an indicator of the lack of accountability on this team, then I don't know what is. Because Spencer and Cam Johnson as a duo are far worse off than playing Cam Thomas and Dennis Smith in the backcourt and then playing Bridges as a 3. It just absolutely baffles me. It is mind-boggling. We do the same shit every time without a reward. And there's no change. There's no recognition of the problem or the issue. Yes, we're winning by 8, but the same shit happens every single game. Every single game. If it's not Cam Johnson, it's Mikal Bridges. If it's not Mikal Bridges, it's fucking Finney-Smith and O'Neal, who go 1 of 16 from 3. And if it's not them, it's Cam Thomas. I just do not get the lack of damn accountability, bro. Once the Heat start making threes, I'm going to be a little bit concerned because I don't think our threes are going to... Like, we're getting open looks. Cam Johnson just cannot make a fucking basket, and he needs to stop shooting him. And you know one way to stop shooting him? You take him off so he can't actually have any opportunity to shoot the ball. Otherwise, he's just chewing up shots. He is just chewing up shots, bro. So Johnson, of course, remains on the floor after that rant. Of course he does. Finney-Smith bringing it up. I just don't fucking understand this. Why we treat the players that are playing better as worse players than the starters who are dishing up shit. Dinwiddie is open for a 3, and that is short as well. I'm pretty convinced that this starting lineup thinks a 3 is the answer every time. That 3 is short by Herro, so his streak of 3s made is snapped at 2. Dinwiddie to Johnson, hand off to Finney-Smith, to Claxton in the middle. We have not seen him take like any touches in this offense. Lowry does well to help, and it's going to be a... How the fuck have they said that's a timeout? Bridges is in a tie-up with Lowry, and they've called a timeout for Miami. They actually need to bring Cam Thomas on early. I will say this. I will take this opinion to the bank. Heck, I would have even played Watford to start this second half, because Spencer doesn't look like doing shit remotely. If we don't start Cam Thomas in the second half, there's a good chance we won't win. There's no offensive rhythm without him in the game. It's just like we do the same thing. How is this not enough of a sample size now to know that Bridges cannot handle the rock? Spencer Dinwiddie plays too passive. And you've got 2 players on the bench that play with energy, that embody the traits of a way we want to play. One complements the other. Like, I just don't get it. Dennis Smith has more upside, traits-wise, than Spencer Dinwiddie does. And Cam Thomas has more traits upside, more upside of his traits, compared to Cam Johnson, at least at the moment. We have played 3.5 minutes of the second half, and this is very similar to what was going on in the first half as well. We started the game, I think, scoring about 3 points in 5 minutes, or something along those lines. In this quarter, we've scored 2 points in 3.5 minutes, bro. It's just like... some journalist needs to ask the damn question. But they're not going to, because you can't poke the bear. Of course you can't. It just doesn't make any sense. If I was in the press conference, and I was a journo, I would ask him, where do you draw the line for accountability? Because Cam Thomas, you bench him, you need offense, you're starting Cam Johnson, and you're starting Spencer Dinwiddie. You've got these 2 players off the bench who are playing far less minutes than the starters. That bench backcourt are scoring more points than the starting duo that I keep on talking about. It's just like, I don't understand it. We continue to play this fucking team. Another timeout called, and we're playing the same group. And another 2 shots for the Heat. The same group. Like, Cam Johnson is passive. Spencer Dinwiddie is passive. DSJ is a dog. He said it himself. He plays hard. Cam Thomas benefits off that shit. Butler makes the first. So it was a 16-point lead. It is going to be down to 6 if Butler makes this free throw, because it's been a 10-0 run. Ever since that Cam Johnson wide open 3 missed on a break, which could have sent it up to 19. Instead, we've witnessed a 13-point swing. Can you fucking believe it? In about 2.5 minutes of game action. Got to score points now. I actually don't know where the points are going to come from here. God, the same shit, man. Drive at Mikal. Dinwiddie in the corner to Finney-Smith. Open 3 for Johnson. He has to hit this. you've got to take him off. You've got to take him off. Get Cam Thomas up off the bench and bring him into the game. Every single wide open look is off. Herro makes, and it's down to 4. The Heat did not make a 3 in the first half, and yet they trail by 4. I'd be damned. Finney Smith. Dinwiddie. Johnson. Drive. Bounce pass was not good. Claxton, he's got Herro on him. He has to score and it rims out. And now Butler in transition. The kick out to Herro. Pump fake. Lost it. And Bridges was able to poke it away. So we get a stop. And now we've just got to find a way here to get it to the cup. Because I cannot deal with an open 3 again. Very clearly cannot make the 3-pointers right now. It's Spencer on the outside of Bridges. He's got Lowry on him. Out to Finney Smith. Pulls the trigger. Yes! Finally makes a shot. And the Nets finally make their second basket of the second half. And it has taken them 5 minutes. Bam is going to back down Clax. Johnson doubles. Numbers roll over. Herro in the corner. Gets by. Good defense by Finney Smith, but equally good offense by Herro. And it's back up to 5. He's turned a corner in this second half. Herro only scored 2 field goals, but he's made the same amount of threes as he did field goals in this quarter alone. Claxton out to Johnson. Looking for Bridges. Instead gives it to Claxton. We've got 6 to shoot. Clax has got to take on Herro. Shoots with the left hand. It's off. Bro, Clax, you have got Herro on you. You have to find yourself in a deeper lying area. Herro, great. Flings it out to Jovic. The 3 is good. And the game is now down to 2. Thank you very much, starting lineup. Thank you very much. We've got Cam Thomas and Dennis on the bench now, when it's all too late. All our good work of the first half evaporated. We've given away 17 points in 6 minutes, and that is what we gave away in both of the 2 quarters. That is just, what is that 3-pointer? Spencer shooting from about 6 feet behind the line with only 7 seconds having elapsed. And we have him on the court for facilitation. What a load of rubbish. Butler, the layup is good. It's tied. Can't believe this, mate. Cannot believe this. Only the Nets could concede 31 points in a half of basketball and lose the lead immediately in 6 minutes. Johnson for 3, misses another one. Finney Smith gets the board, back to Johnson. He makes the layup and finally does something good. Jesus Christ. I would not be surprised if the winning team today scores 90 points. Lowry on the perimeter. Picked up by Dinwiddie. The switch, which means Dinwiddie guards Bam. Lowry looking for Bam. Gets it to him. It was knocked away. No foul called. Herro scores the floater again. Oh my goodness. 52 apiece. Herro has turned a corner, man. He's outscored us in the quarter. Finney Smith pulls the trigger on a 3. That's off as well. The Heat can take the lead. Would you believe it? There's a foul off the ball. Where? There was a foul. Who's the foul on? What? I'm so confused. Who got hit with a technical? Someone got a technical foul, but I don't know whose ball it is. I'm so confused where the technicals are risen from, because we just got a free point. I honestly could not. I just don't know what the hell that was, to be honest. That stoppage has allowed us not only to score a point and give us the lead back, but also it's allowed us to bring on the bench. Cam Thomas in, Dennis Smith in, O'Neal in. So all the liabilities are off the floor. So theoretically, we should go on a run here with this bench. It's Butler picked up by Bridges. Tries to move him and does. And there is a foul, and it's going to be Butler going to the free throw line. So they can actually take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the show. We'll be back in a week's time for Nets Timberwolves. I'm just taking some time off, so we will be back for then. Also wanted to say thanks for 2,000 subs, because we hit that mark. Obviously, the Nets community is smaller than my most predominant community that follows me, but the numbers all add up. So thank you to everyone who has tuned in over the course of the time that this channel has existed. Thank you very much. Thanks for sticking around. Oh my god, we brought on Watford as a small ball 5. That is an interesting move. I would have personally started him to start the second half, but that would be too common sense, wouldn't it? So Bridges to Watford, who's going to facilitate, and he's going to hand it off to Cam Thomas. Thomas into the paint. Shoots a deep 2. Oh my god, he airballed it that badly that Watford got the rebound. We got 4 to shoot. O'Neal to Bridges, who cut, and he makes +1. And that's good playmaking by Mikal, or good playmaking by Royce. And I guess you could say good playmaking by Mikal, because we looked in the dumps with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, but Bridges was able to cut down the middle of the lane and able to put one up, get fouled, score the basket, +1. So Bridges with 1 free throw here. So made the free throw on the last trip and makes the free throw on this trip. So we get back up to a 2-point lead. And look, Mikal's got 17. He's actually not shot the ball really that poorly. He's actually been a decent sort of contributor today. Martin on the drive. Walks a tightrope on the baseline. Richardson for 3. Oh my god. Now they decide to start making their shots. Now they decide to start making them. They're 4 of 18 from 3, but they were 0 of 12 at halftime. So they're 4 of 6 in the quarter. After going 0 of 12 in the first half. Only the Nets can end up creating such a defensive lapse. Dennis is able to nudge Herro out of the way and give us the lead back. Quite a few lead changes happening now. Butler kick out. Martin is open for a look, and he hits as well. And that is the most disgusting looking jump shot I've ever seen, but he's able to convert somehow and square up. So heat up 2. Watford looking for Bridges. Again, looking for Watford. We get it up to him, and he missed the layup. A rebound for Jovic. And now Richardson with the spin. The drive, the bounce pass to Butler in the dunker's spot. And he's fouled again by O'Neal. So on brand for this fucking team to wait to bring Cam Thomas in when our offense sucks. It's just so brain dead, bro. It's just so brain dead. We've given away 62 points. It's not even the defense now. It's the fucking offense, bro. So first shot is made. If this game doesn't indicate change, I do not know what does, bro. How many times, JV, are you going to allow your starters to fuck the team over every single game? We were up 16 with the chance of making it 19, but you have bums that can't make threes, the one thing that they're good for. I'm surprised that wasn't an over and back, to be honest. As Bridges handed it to Dennis. Thomas to O'Neal, that's an open 3. That's good. And O'Neal's looked like one of the only wings remotely able to make a shot. I wouldn't have been opposed to playing Jalen Wilson, to be quite honest. Martin an easy score over Dennis Smith, and they are just scoring from everywhere now. 64-61. The Heat have scored as many points in the quarter as they did in the entire first half. Dennis for 3 in the corner. Yes. Net barely moved, and it's tied at 64. The Heat have scored 33 in the quarter. They've scored, or had scored 31 in the entire half. Baffling. Richardson out to Martin. He's got Thomas on him. I thought he was going to try his luck from 3, but he does the sensible thing, but puts up a bad layup. It was the right matchup to attack, just probably not the right sort of looking shot. Thomas to the corner for Watford. Back to Thomas. The 3 is good in rhythm, and the Nets have a 3-point lead. So all of a sudden, the offense has found a little bit of spark, and who would have fucking thought it's when Cam Thomas is on the court, Butler the layup is good, and it's back down to 1, but, I mean, the defense has been trash. The Heat have been far more sensible in the second half with their shot selection. We haven't been able to keep them out of the paint. Dennis out to Thomas. Switch. Step back 3 over Richardson. It's off. And it's knocked away. How is that not Nets ball? Been a couple of those which are 50-50, and it's always gone the Heat's way, to no one's surprise. So 35 seconds to play. And Jimmy Butler will let it roll. Probably want to execute the 2 for 1. Oh my god. The 2 for 1 perfectly executed, man, because that would have been such a terrible shot, mate. Butler deep 2. If Watford doesn't fall for the pump fake, so the Heat can retake the lead. No other team in the NBA can ship off 31 first half points to the opposition, then allow them to score nearly 40 in a fucking quarter. Yet again, another game where everything stops after halftime. A discussion has to be made about that, because it just happens way too often now where we have a good first half, remain competitive, or have a sizable lead. Second half, everything falls off. Everything. Watford, Thomas, 8 to shoot. 8-second difference between shot and game. It's good defense by the Heat. Thomas takes it in, and he is fouled, and it was on the reach. I'm not sure who was the guilty party, but it is going to be 2 shots for Cam, who has not shot free throws very well in recent memory at all. Thomas makes the first. I just noticed, I just checked on Twitter, Spencer Dinwiddie's points in the last 5 games, so we won one of those 5 games against OKC, in which he scored 23. But every other game, he's gone 0, 11, 5, 2, 3. That is horrendous for your primary guard. Starting guard, Robinson. That is a tough shot at the end of the third quarter. And it was good defense by DSJ. So even though we choked the lead in the third quarter, we still hold a very slight ascendancy. It is a 1-point lead going into the final quarter. The Nets only managed 24 points. We actually scored the most points in that quarter out of any quarter so far. despite starting the quarter incredibly slowly. It was when the fucking bench came on that everything started to flow a little bit more freely. The problem was we shipped off an excellent amount of points. 37 after shipping off 16 and 15 in the first two. Make it make sense. And we look at the box score and see where the difference has arisen from. And I just need to go to the summary here and just refresh the page. And you will be able to see Miami, 24 for Butler, and he's only taken 9 shots. He's been to the free throw line 12 times. They have not missed any free throws. They also shot 5 of 7 from 3 after going 0 of 12 from 3 in the first half. And their field goal percentage is well up on the opening half. You can see their starters are destroying ours, and their bench is getting absolutely, well, again, getting their asses kicked in. For the Nets, it's a complete flip. Every Nets bench player is in the plus. Every Nets starter, aside from Clax, who's played nearly the most minutes of any Net, is in the minus. Cam Thomas is 17 points. He's leading the way with Mikal Bridges, but on a far better efficiency, my guy. And, well, fair to say, if we're shooting 8 of 37 from 3, we are never going to win the game, because that is just an absolutely abhorrent percentage. We had 5 steals and 6 blocks in the first half. We only had 2 steals in the quarter, and it meant the turnovers were well down. We weren't able to run the break. Even though we scored more points, the Heat just found things, well, way too easy in that third quarter. A lot of our success in the first half was found because the Heat were taking a lot of mid-ranges and threes. But look, in the third quarter, they emphasized getting to the free throw line a little bit more and utilizing that rim pressure, which had gotten them a few extra points in the first half, and they prevailed. They succeeded. So we absolutely have to deliver in this final quarter, man. And we have to reflect on what got us into a winning position in the first half. That's an excellent start, losing the basketball, and Lowry will pass it to Adebayo. It's knocked away, and Dennis swoops in for the steal. So even though he turned it over, he redeems himself, and O'Neal in transition airballed the 3 that badly that the net moved. It was one of those deceptive ones. Martin cut along the baseline. Robinson is doubled. Richardson, good rollover, but Lowry's open in the corner. Great ball movement. And there's an offensive foul. So even if Lowry missed or made the shot, it would have been chalked off. And 2 turnovers in the opening 30 seconds for Miami to start this last quarter. So DSJ will look to facilitate, and it's going to be Black setting the screen. O'Neal's open for 3 again, and that is money. He has to play nearly the entire quarter. I do not care what people say. Bridges and Claxton, the only 2 starters that can grace the floor in the last. We lose if we see anything else. Robinson picked up by Walker, who's on the floor while Bridges gets a rest. Adebayo, 3 to shoot, forced into a mid-range, and he makes. That's a shot he was not making in the first half. Sort of sums up how the Heat have, well, gotten their way on offense. Dennis, the lob was absolutely not there, but Dennis chased it up again for the second time in the quarter. A turnover has quickly led to a Dennis Smith steal. So DSJ is redeeming himself for those turnovers that he's committing early in the quarter by ensuring that the Heat don't get an extra possession out of it. Cam Thomas up top. Got Martin on him. Walker. That's blocked by Richardson. And now Lowry in transition. Picks up his dribble. And the Nets did well defensively to get back. So Adebayo on the perimeter. They're going to try free up Robinson, but DSJ does well to stay with. Richardson, the 3. That's good. I don't understand how a team can get so scorching hot from 3 after shooting it so goddamn awfully in the first half. It doesn't make any sense. Dennis. High screen by Clax. Dennis in the corner, a step back 3. Are you fucking joking? What is that? For every good bit of Dennis Smith Jr. play you're going to get, Richardson, that 3 rimmed out. Bam. Misses, but gets the tip in. Fucking hell, you have 4 players under the basket, another 7-0 run. For every good, 3 good bits of play you get from Dennis, he just puts up an absolute shitter every so often. Cam Thomas in the mid-range didn't get a foul. Richardson is going to drive. The spin, gets it up and scores again. Are we seriously seeing J. Rich... Josh Richardson fucking take over? Seriously? They've got Butler on the damn bench, and yet they still find a way. See, this is the laziness by Clax, bro. He's just ball watching. He sees the shot go up. You have to body up. Bam. It's that simple. You had 2 other guards ready to get the rebound, and you're not boxing out your man. It's that fucking simple. It's those little small details that are really shooting us in the foot, man. Simple little bits of decision making. Dennis Smith shooting a step back 3. In the first half, he is not doing that. Oh my God. So fucking sad. There needs to be... I mean, JV has to be held accountable in this press conference, bro. Has to be. Has to be. It is dire watching this team at the moment, man. It is dire. How can we keep going on like this, bro? How can we keep going on like this? If this is not an indicator that these players... What are we doing? We're just fucking wasting time here, dude. I thought this team could be a 40-win team, but it's very clear that as it currently stands, we're not even playing better than a 25-win team at the moment. Because, my God, everything... If you are that... If you were that shit that you can hold a team to 31 points in a half and still trail in the last quarter, trail in the third quarter for that matter, you know you're bad. Or you know that there is a heavy issue with your team. A heavy issue. Like, it's just like you have to be next level bad. We saw the Cavaliers hold us to 34 points, and you did not see them choke a lead like this. And we're supposed to be on a slightly lower rung than the Cavaliers. Supposed to be, but we're not. Clax has not had a point, and he has also not had a rebound in this second half. That's another issue. So we play small ball, and Bridges has an open 3 in the corner, which he misses. What a fucking surprise. You keep shooting 3s, you're going to keep missing 3s, because it's the same people. The same people who keep missing the shots are taking the shots. I don't fucking understand it. Richardson again. That time, it's off. 8:20 to play. Down 5. The game's not over yet, but my goodness. It's well on track to be. O'Neal is open for 3. That one's off as well. I swear to God, this team doesn't know how to take a fucking layup. Is the plan to just shoot threes every single second of this game? Lowry misses. Rebound O'Neal. Bridges. Watch us take another three. There it is. Cam Thomas. How was he not fouled? What? Martin the drive and kick. Richardson's open. He pulls the trigger. It's good. Nope. It looked like it, though, on the broadcast, and O'Neal gets hit. But how on earth is Cam Thomas not being fouled in the corner there? That is an absolute joke. Mate, you keep running this same fucking team and not making any changes to the roster. We're going to have to keep witnessing these fucking 90-point games, bro. It's absolutely abysmal to watch. So Dennis. So Finney Smith with 7:30 to play. Cam Thomas. We'll look for Bridges up top, and now he will try to take on Robinson. The drive, he lost the ball again. Oh, I absolutely hate Mikal playing isolation on a Heat defense. We know all too well that he just loses the basketball. So if he's getting that much pressure placed on him, he's got to be far better than that. The Nets have got to be far better acknowledging that as well. Here he is. He's doubled again. That's an open three. Cam Thomas is open, top of the key, and he misses. O'Neal gets the board, and he was fouled on the dump off. And it's going to be, I believe, Robinson who picks it up. I cannot believe that Cam Thomas 3 was not a foul before. You're fucking kidding me. Every single player gets those calls, except ours. Bridges good cut, and he scores for 2. I swear to God he was held on that cut as well. But he was able to still manage to get one up and in. It's Butler on the outside. They're gonna look to play through him on this possession. It's Butler. Picked up by Dennis, the spin. The kick out to Robinson was slightly off, and it means they have to give it back to Butler to reset with 3 to shoot. Adebayo in the mid-range. That's off, and we live with those. A rebound for Dennis. Attack. O'Neal, pump fake, 3. It's off. Bro, how many threes? You have Cam Thomas and Bridges. Neither of them touch the basketball in that sequence. And Butler muscles his way to the basket. We're shooting 18% in the fucking quarter. I actually cannot believe we're actually in this game, to be honest. We've scored 74 points in 42 minutes. That is bad. O'Neal, another 3. Just, I can't believe this, man. And Cam Johnson's getting ready to check in. Lord and Savior. Butler, the driving kick. Martin, the open 3. That's off. Rebound Thomas. Please do something with this possession. Down the middle, another kick out. O'Neal to the corner for Bridges. Yes! And we have a timeout. Fucking hell. Mate, what an absolutely shambolic sort of game. Dude, we're the next Pistons. Bro, I'd rather watch the Pistons than us right now. Oh my God. It's disgusting. Jesus. What more can you possibly say, man? Five minutes 27 away from potentially losing another game. But I guess the saving grace is it's a 1-possession game. This is actually it's actually amazing. I actually don't think we realize how amazing it is that we've scored 77 points in just over 42 minutes of basketball, and we're actually in a game of basketball. That is incredibly tough to do. We have scored 32 points in the half, though. 32 points. Somehow we may actually score less points than we did in the first half. This is a Heat team on the second night of a back-to-back, and they scored 31 points in the first half, trailing by 14. Yet you trail to them off a 3-day break. A 3-day break with nearly every one of your players fit. There is no excuses whatsoever. I just don't have... I don't think there is a word to describe what we're witnessing right now. Share your thoughts, man, in the chat, and drop a like if you're enjoying the stream, as much as you may not be enjoying the actual game itself. But my goodness, bro. It is bad. You know what? Fair play for JV keeping Dennis in the game. Although, watch, he's taken Cam Thomas off. I cannot believe this. We have scored 8 points in the fucking quarter, in half a quarter, and he's not on the court. He's brought on Cam Johnson, who is shooting 0 of 7 from 3. You can't be serious, bro. Butler's going to the line for 2 more, and Cam Johnson is a fucking traffic cone. Oh, jeez, this is just diabolical. Cam Johnson needs to come off the bench, but because he's getting paid big money, you've apparently got to play him longer. You got to play him longer. Apparently, he's a lock for 30 minutes a night because he's been sold this vision, or he's a part of the vision. Butler misses a free throw, and that is their first miss, and they have taken 17 free throws prior to that one. So 5 on the floor for the Nets is Bridges, Dennis, O'Neal, Claxton, Johnson. So it's a 3-point game. Dennis remains in. I beg they've taken Thomas off for a breather. But this is just embarrassing, dude. O'Neal, that's knocked away. Just like, yet again, 14 seconds of the clock elapsed, and not once did we even get remotely close to attacking the paint. Dennis will look to inbound to Johnson. 8 to shoot. 8 to shoot. Still haven't attacked. Johnson in the mid-range bricks it. Still didn't attack the paint that whole possession. We are playing like the Heat in the first half. Can't make threes. Aren't attacking the basket. Free throws, we're not even getting those. There is a travel on Caleb Martin, and he will add to his count of turnovers. Derek Whitehead is on the side in a hoodie. He should be playing, realistically. Spencer Dinwiddie he's got a 39% field goal percentage. That is the worst in the league amongst 143 qualifiers I've just seen on the broadcast. Bridges is trapped. Johnson open in the mid-range, and he finally hits an open jump shot. Who would have thought that hitting open jump shots are so difficult? We trail by 1, and we've only scored 79 points. Wow. Herro. Switch. Richardson. Looking for Bam. O'Neal does well blocking that pass to Bam, that is a bad miss, but they get an offensive board. That is such a lucky bounce. Butler now in the corner, picked up by Dennis. He will back him down. The spin, the help arrives. Claxton, good defense, but that is insanely high off the window, and he gets it to go when Jimmy does the too small gesture. So nothing you can do about that. Bridges will get into the paint. Out to Johnson. Oh my God, he shot a three. He shot a three, bro. What is Cam Johnson doing on the court? Oh my God, he's actually bringing Cam Thomas back in. He's actually bringing Thomas back in. Which, I mean, it gives us the opportunity, but who's he going to take off? If he's being realistic, he's going to take Cam Johnson off. That is such a ridiculous make by Jimmy Butler, though. Claxton is fully outstretched with his reach, and Butler was still able to get that one in off the glass. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it. I mean, I don't... Oh, I don't get enough recognition for this shit. I'm taking the piss, but it feels like the Nets need they need to hook up every one of their supporters with a loyalty package, because my goodness, putting your fan base through this is disgusting, bro. We have scored 11 points in this quarter. Correction, we have scored 10 points in this quarter in 8.5 minutes, bro. Come on. And that's even with our best team playing on the day. Dennis and Cam basically in for the entire quarter. I see Bridges. I see Claxton. I see O'Neal. So who is it? I see DFS. So he's taken Dennis off, but oh my God, he has not brought Cam Thomas back in. Are you kidding me, bro? Knocked away by O'Neal. It was a block from behind, and Dennis is going to push it. Takes it all the way in, and he's blocked by Martin. And he had words to say. But that is excellent defense by the Heat. And that sort of sums things up. Us on the break. I mean, they had 2 defenders back. Where are our players even there to support him? So 3 minutes and 7 seconds to play. It looks like the Nets called their final use it or lose it timeout. So Cam Thomas has to be playing down the stretch here. We need baskets, bro. We can't win a game. We cannot win a game from here if we don't score. It's that simple. We trail. Oh my God. Today is the day where we have missed the most threes in franchise history. In a single game. 39 misses. Let me depict this for you. We are shooting 20% on 49 threes. 49 threes, bro. 49 threes. That is just absolutely woeful. 49 threes. 49. We've missed 39 of them. Oh, thank God he took Cam Johnson off. Thank God he took him off. Jesus Christ. Cam Thomas is back in. Oh my God, JV. Genius. He's playing the team that has been the best team in this game. We get it to Bridges on the inbound. So it's Cam, Dennis, Bridges, O'Neal, Claxton. Bridges the drive. Skip pass. Dennis open three. That is an air ball. Oh my God. I need to seriously bleach my eyeballs because, my goodness, 43-point misses in a game. My God. Butler the kick out. Richardson the drive. Pulls up for 2 over Dennis. That's off. Rebound Claxton. 2.5 minutes to play. But we need a bucket. We've scored 10 points in the entire quarter. Thomas the drive. Body bump. Gets one up. Misses. Oh my God. We have held this Heat team to 80, I would assume, under 90 points. And we can't even win a game. Herro the drive. He's fouled. Hit on the head by O'Neal. It's 2 shots. Oh my God. This happens every single game. First half, grouse. Second half, not so much. Last quarter, the worst. The amount of times we've scored 25 to 30 points each quarter. Last quarter, we go out and dish 10 to 20 points in a quarter. Right now, we don't even look like we're going to hit 15. And at this stage, 15 points wouldn't even get us a win. That would send us into overtime, bro. What a disgusting game of basketball to watch. It's off, and Claxton gets the rebound. So their second miss of the night. The Nets are shooting above 50% from inside the arc, yet they have shot 53s and made 10 of them. Go figure. Thomas, open 3, O'Neal. Please make it. Yes! Finally, bro. A fucking 3-pointer. It's down to 1, and I can't even get excited. Because all these misses have sucked the energy out. That's such a dumb foul by O'Neal. I think they're in the bonus. Or do we have a foul to give? Okay, first in the final 2 minutes, so that was the foul to give. But that could have been handy for use later on. It is a 1-point game. And it will be Herro inbounding with Martin, Adebayo, Butler, and Richardson, the others, on the floor for the Heat. The Nets are running Dennis Smith, Cam Thomas, Mikal, O'Neal, and Claxton. So 3 of the bench in the game. Bam. Cam Thomas comes over to help. Can get a steal here. Come on. Skip pass. It's turned over. And O'Neal with the steal. Here we go. Come on. Got to score. It's Cam Thomas. We're inside the final 90 seconds. Thomas, the drive. Good take. And it's a block. A ferocious block, but it is a foul prior. And it will be Herro. It'll be Herro who will be hit with the call. And my goodness. Oh, that's very close to a goaltend, but it's not going to be. No. It's very close to being on the way down. So the Nets can make 2 free throws here and get the lead back. And Cam Thomas is very lucky that that one went in. It rattles in. We can take the lead. He's 4 of 4 tonight. But he is 80% on the season. The second free throw is good. And we are back up. I do not know how we're leading. It is a 1-point lead. 84 to 83. It has been one of the worst basketball games I've watched. But yet we hold the advantage. Herro, well defended. Butler, the driving kick. Herro, good pump fake. Into the paint. And the floater is good. And that's exactly what we have not done enough. Good facilitation has allowed the overcommit on the closeout, which allowed an easy drive and a good look on the inside. Thomas to O'Neal, back to Thomas. He's going to be given the keys, I imagine, to close this one out. Thomas, good change of pace, gets into the paint. That's a foul, and it's going to be 2 shots. And Butler also got hit, but it is going to be 2 more looks for CT, and he's done a great job of, well, finding ways to score points, even though the shots have been very difficult to find. He's doing well to exploit the amount of pressure he's getting by initiating that contact and getting those fouls. So Cam Thomas at the free throw line. Pressure is on to make 2 more. He has not missed any of his free throws, and that has not changed. We've got 37.4 to play, and it is Cam Thomas who has been given the license down the stretch, and this is the lineup that I wanted us to close with. I did say if JV did not close with this lineup, we lose the game. Thomas, the second free throw is good. We lead by 1, and the Heat are in a good position to execute a 2-for-1, but they've got to ensure that with the 2-for-1 comes a good shot. It looks like they may hold for 1. It's going to be Herro, who is going to drive on Dennis, get one up, and score too easily. And what is JV doing? What is JV doing? He's not gonna call the timeout. Oh, you already know this is not gonna be in. Here we go. Cam Thomas with the keys, 1-on-1, shoots the 3, he misses. The rebound is, oh my god, it's a turnover. Why would you not take a 2, Cam? We don't even need a 3. We don't even need a 3. I just knew that was going to happen. Look, that was completely unnecessary. You missed the 2, big deal. But it is so clear. We have scored so much, at so much better of a rate from 2 than 3. We have missed 41 threes today. Why would you shoot that when you're down 1? We've got 2 timeouts left, though. So, look, we've got time to draw something up. Bam's got to miss 1, and he does. So, if he makes the second, are we going to go for the 2 or go for the win? Of course, the one game where there's a potential game winner, I have a corded mic, or not a corded mic, a corded headset. So, I can't actually go for a run around my room if we hit a game winner. We got 6 seconds to play in this game. And Bam Adebayo missed the first free throw with them up 1. It is Bam shooting the second. The second free throw is good. And that means it is a 2-point game. And it means the Nets can hit a 3 to win or hit a 2 to tie and send it to overtime. Do we play the percentages and say, well, the Heat are on a second night of a back-to-back. You've got to look to tie the game. Or do you go for the 3? Such an interesting conversation to have. It is, well, if we win this, we have officially gotten the get out of jail free card, because my god, it has been rough. Cam Thomas, bro, you had a lane to drive. Why would you not take Martin on? Shooting a fucking 3 contested. What an uninspiring play. It looks even worse when JV did not call a timeout. It looks like JV's giving Cam a talking to in that huddle. So I think he's going to be given the license to get the final shot up. Watch it be a 3. We've missed 41 of them, but we're going to shoot another one, aren't we? It's 88-86. And it is going to be the Heat playing Richardson, Butler, Martin. Cam Thomas is on the court. Finney Smith is on the court. I mean, we should drive and kick it out, if anything. Bridges is also in there, unsurprisingly. I would expect Cam Johnson to be on the court. Of course he is. Here we go. We got 6 seconds, and it will be O'Neal triggering in. So Bridges, Cam, the 2 Cams, DFS. For the Heat, it's Herro, Butler, Adebayo, Richardson, and Martin. It's Herro guarding the inbounder, which is O'Neal. And here we go. O'Neal, 6 seconds to play, 5.9 to be exact. What have we drawn up out of the timeout? Get it in. Get it in. It's Bridges. He drives. Was he fouled? He wasn't, but he was. He was fouled. He was, and he's got to make 2 free throws. Oh, no. Oh, I can already see it. It's written in the stars that he misses one. So Bridges was guarded by Butler. He actually had an open three for a second there. Herro was hit with a blocking foul because he got to the spot too late. And now Mikal. Okay, well, they're going to challenge it. Surely they're not successful. If they are successful, then fair play. When we played Portland, they used 2 challenges successfully, and they were very good challenges at crucial stages of the game. So this is another opportunity for that to potentially occur, and another loss to be chalked up. That has to be a foul. So they've just used the timeout, and they probably use the timeout as one of those ones where you got nothing to lose, because if you win the challenge, then obviously it goes your way. If you don't, you still have the opportunity to draw up a play should Mikal tie the game with 2 free throws. So we aren't in an optimal position to win. I look back on that Cam Thomas 3-pointer and I just say, what if? What if? What if he just took that to the cup? Because then we probably take the lead instead of trailing. So Mikal, Doe. I don't know if we're running a defensive lineup or a rebounding lineup. Bridges has to make both. Pressure's on, man. Down 2, you miss 1, and all of a sudden the team is not in a good spot. But we do have a timeout remaining, which means that in the case that Mikal only makes 1 and the Heat go up the other end and make 2, we can still tie the game with a timeout in hand. So Mikal at the free throw line. We'll shoot a couple. Please make these. Just please make the free throws. Please. There's 1. You got to be prepared to box out, or you got to be prepared to try overcome the box out if there is a miss. And you got to be prepared to foul if you don't get the ball off the miss. Bridges makes both. It's 88 apiece, and we have another timeout with 4.4 seconds left, and the Heat can go for the win here. For God's sake. My goodness. So, 88 apiece. What are we going to do with this final possession is the question. Excited to see. Alrighty. I can just see us conceding. We've conceded 57 points in this yeah, we've conceded 57 points in this half. We've only scored 43. That's why the game is tied. We had that 14-point lead at the half. We held them to 31 first half points, and yet, even though we held them to 88, our offense has equally been as garbage throughout. And it's meant that the Heat can now win this game and get out of jail. It's 88 apiece, 4 seconds to play, 4.5 to play to be exact. And they'll have Butler on the floor, who's got 29 points. He has not missed, he's missed 1 free throw, but he has only missed 3 of his 11 shots. It is Robinson, Bam, Lowry, Butler, Herro, the 5 on the floor. 5 capable shooters. Here we go. They just need a 2. That's all they need. Into Butler. 2 to shoot. We'll take it on over Finney-Smith, and it's off. And that's it. Overtime. Oh, here we go again. It's overtime. We've got 5 more minutes of basketball to play. And I will be back. I just need to go to the bathroom. All right, so we're back. We're back. It is full time. We are how many points was it? 69. So we scored only 19 points in the quarter. The Heat managed 20, and thus we go to an overtime period. In 2 overtime games this season, we have sat at an 0-2 record. So we have been not great. We played one against the Blazers and lost. And then I cannot recall the other game that we lost. But if there's any positive, it is that the Heat are playing on the second night of a back-to-back. Surely there's an opportunity here for the Nets to get a dub. I mean, look, I said to JV that I said directed towards JV that if he runs this lineup he's running right now with Cam and Dennis Smith as the backcourt pairing, Bridges at the 3, O'Neal at the 4, Clax at the 5, that is the best 5 that have played in this game today. We win the jump ball and we'll get a look first to score. And so that is like, look, I can't ask for much more with the rotation JV's run down the stretch. Let's see if I'm right in saying that it'll be the team that wins us the game of basketball. Thomas, the layup, he scores, and that was an excellent drive by Cam. We haven't seen that enough today, but he scores and gets us on the board to begin overtime. The last time we played in overtime, we scored a couple early buckets. We were up 4, and then it all turned to shit. Shit hit the fan. So we've got to ensure that we don't fall into a rut again. It's Adebayo who will look to take on Clax. A good double, a tough shot, and he is short. And Bridges will push the pace, give it to Thomas, who's trailing the play, but he will slow things down and we play with a much slower tempo. So the high screen set, the switch. It's Thomas guarded by Herro. 1-on-1. He's now doubled. They look for Dennis in the middle. Sees O'Neal open, and he hits a 3. And we have the lead by 5. This is exactly what happened in the previous overtime game. Do not go back to bad habits. Good maneuvering of that double by the Heat. It's Herro. Now in a switch with Clax, it means that there is going to be some fight under the basket for the rebound. Butler is doubled. And now Herro 1-on-1. Gets it out to Martin. Behind the back. Backs down Bridges. Blocked by Bridges. And we have a fucking offensive frickin', I don't even know what the hell that is. Defensive stop. That's what it's called. We have a defensive stop. We have an offensive shortcoming on the Heat's end. And it means the Nets can get this lead up. They are up by 5, and they haven't led by more than 5 for quite some time. So we score again. We get the breathing room that we have been seeking for, well, a long time. Dennis Smith, 5 to shoot. He's got Herro on him in an isolation. Kick out. Thomas got to get it up. Step back 3. It's up. It's off. And a rebound for Herro. I actually don't know why Cam hesitated. He should have just shot that in rhythm. Instead, the rhythm was gone the minute he took a dribble, and Herro can respond. It hits back iron. Bridges can't get the board, but Cam Thomas also can't get the board. How did he not get the rebound? Martin for 3. It's open. That's off. You knew it as soon as he shot it. Butler fights on the glass. They got another open 3. It's Herro who misses again, and Dennis will get the board. Man, the Heat have had a lot of opportunities. We're into the final half of overtime. The Heat have not made a field goal. We have only had 3 attempts, and we've made 2 of them. Bridges. Dennis in the middle. Kick out to Thomas. On the catch, the 3 is off. O'Neal tried to chase up the board, and there will be a foul on O'Neal over the back, or loose ball, whichever one you want to call it. The net's up by 5, but my goodness, if I could get my 2.5 to 3 hours back, I would. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets streams at the back end of January, starting with Nets Timberwolves, and then we will be doing nearly every game in the run home with a few misses in there. But we'll be doing as many as we can. What a block by Claxton out of nowhere. It was an incredible no-look pass by Herro to find Richardson in acres of space under the basket, but Claxton out of nowhere swatted that shit off the glass, and the Nets keep the Heat scoreless in overtime. Thomas, the layup is off. The rebound by Richardson. Both teams getting stops and finding things difficult on offense. Herro's open, and he makes. And it is back down to 2. So Cam Thomas, I mean, that is a typical 5-on-4. And I tell you what, I don't think we could have afforded to give up the 3 there. Bridges the drive, walks a tightrope, gets back in the mid-range, misses. Claxton is held, and it's going to be a foul on this end. And Herro is absolutely irate. So 68 seconds to play. The Nets have led the entire way in this overtime period. They're hanging on by a thread. Great commentary, bro. Cheers, mate. If you want to hear more of it, I'll be back at the back end of January. Thank God I am not doing Nets play-by-plays for the next 10 days, because we play some really tough opponents, and if we're playing like this, we're going to get absolutely smoked every single one of them. But we will be back for Nets Minnesota next week on Friday if you're in Australia, and Thursday if you're in the US. Thomas will inbound. Got to get it in. Oh, that could have been a 5-second call, but JV is the Lord and Savior we have been looking for, because he calls a timeout before the 5 seconds are met. So it is the Nets hanging on to a slender 2-point lead. They looked like they were going to choke it. Every quarter we have scored less than 25 points. If it wasn't for a 37-point third quarter by the Heat, in which they hit 5 3-pointers, then we probably would be seeing a different result. The game would have already been over, but of course, things cannot be easy with this Nets outfit. And so, look, we had held the Heat to no field goals made, no points in about 3.5 minutes of overtime, and yet we only still lead by 2, purely because we just cannot buy buckets. I tell you what, the box score reading post-game is going to be one of the most abysmal things we look at, win or loss. But you know what? It's all part of the fun, isn't it? So 5 on the floor remains the same. Look, he took a long time, but better late than never for JV running Dennis, Cam, Bridges, That's Cam Thomas, by the way. Bridges, O'Neal, and Claxton. O'Neal, Dennis, and Cam, when they came off the bench in the first half, were superb. And look, they needed to be a part of the group closing the game out in order for us to win. You could not have Cam Johnson or Finney Smith or these guys playing when they were contributing to a losing mentality, essentially. Got to get it in. We get it to Bridges in the backcourt. He's going to bring it forward. The spin. Oh my God, that's a tough shot. But he gets it to go. He got the soft bounce off the rim. And with 1 minute to play, it's a 4-point lead. That was a saucy spin move. Adebayo decked Dennis Smith, and it's left us in a 5-on-4. Bam nearly lost the basketball because the pass wasn't perfect. Herro on the move. He hits again. Exhibit A of why you absolutely need to put your body on the line to get that steal. If it is in dispute, you don't half-ass it. You fucking go for it. We have to execute the 2-for-1 here. Make. Gotta make. Dennis. Drive. Gets into the paint. Out to O'Neal. Oh, no. Bridges. Fumbled it. We got 3 to shoot. Bridges the layup. Claxton. What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, my God. It was going in. The fucking ball was going in. Oh my God, what a fucking idiot. What a degenerate. The ball was going in and Claxton knocked it out. Oh no, maybe no, it wasn't. I don't think it was going in, but how do you... All he needed to do was lightly tap the basketball. He's put way too much on it and it's gone the other side of the basket. 95, 94. God, all I can do is sigh. And there wasn't even a 2-for-1 execution. That's the funny thing. So are we challenging this for an offensive basket interference? I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look. So it's been reset to 25.7. Flax just had to wait a fraction of a second longer for that ball to exit. Even if he didn't necessarily need to tip it in, he just needed to gather the rebound. So the Nets are going to have to do what they did at the end of regulation and come up clutch with a stop. They lead by 1. They have led the entirety of the overtime period. It is Tyler Herro who's bringing it forward. The screen and the switch. Herro one-on-one with Claxton. They're going to bounce past it to Butler. And now he will be picked up by Dennis. The drive. Knocked away. And Dennis wants a challenge. I think you may have to challenge it, bro. There's no point. Oh, that's clean, bro. That's fucking clean. JV, man, needed to challenge that. Challenge it, you idiots. Oh my God, you idiots. Bro, that is a clean steal once and then twice. Butler makes the first. Bro, Dennis needed to be more... He needed to press the issue a little bit more and just tell JV, you need to do it. Because if you... Big deal if you lose the timeout because you're probably taking the final shot. Right? But you get the opportunity to draw the play up. Butler made both. They lead. We need to score, and he's not calling a timeout. That is just excellent news, isn't it? He's going to let Bridges cook, or maybe Cam Thomas. Is Cam going to get a touch? I don't think he is. Cam's nowhere near it. Bridges into the paint. That is just absolutely rubbish. I cannot fucking believe that. I can't believe that. That has to be the worst ending I've ever seen in my life. JV didn't even say, what is he doing saving a timeout? He didn't challenge what could have been a clear deflection by Dennis, which, if the challenge was lost, we could have drawn something up in that time. If it was won, the points are chalked off and we lead and can get the basketball back. Or we have another opportunity. Instead, he didn't challenge, and then he proceeds to not call a timeout for the final play. If he wants us to let it run and play in transition, what's the fucking point when they've made their free throws? They can get back. There's no effectiveness in a transition play. There was nothing transition about that. Cam Thomas is not even near the fucking basketball. Bridges had 3 on him. He had 2 seconds to shoot. He could have even looked left to Finney Smith, who is right there for an open 3, bro. That is potentially the worst of all the losses we have had. That may be the worst loss I think I've ever seen. Because we held a Heat team to 31 points. We led by 14 at the half. We were playing the team on the second night of a back-to-back, and we sent it to overtime. We led by 5 in overtime. We held them to no points in the first 3.5 minutes of overtime. Every single thing that needed to go right for this team to win today and place us in the best position to win today occurred. And yet somehow we lose again. JV nearly did everything right in the latter stages in terms of playing the rotation that needed to play to win this game. But those final 11 seconds, bro, he fucking threw the game. If he was going to use the timeout later, then sure. But he didn't even use the timeout to draw up a final play. What was he thinking? What was he thinking? What was he thinking? You need to actually... Someone needs to help me rationalize what the hell just happened, because that is one of the most diabolical management sequences I've ever seen, man. May I ask where you are from? Australia, my guy. My God. Thank God I don't need to do these play-by-plays. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing them, but even just watching the Nets games are a chore at the moment. Look how many shots we attempted from 3, bro. 55 shots. You made 12 of your 55. You shot 22% on 55 threes. Make it make sense, bro. How on earth can you let that happen? Cam Thomas shot, wow. Royce O'Neal hit 5 of his 10 threes. I swear he didn't have that much of a bearing on the game. Cam Thomas wasn't efficient, but I probably would have favored him taking the final shot, man. The starters ultimately fucked it up because we led by 14 at the half, and their one job was to keep the Heat at arm's length. Of course, in 6 minutes, the entire lead evaporated, and we had to yet again rely on our bench to get the victory. We trailed by 1 on the final possession. You could have fucking played Trendon Watford and tried to get him into his spot. That has to be one of the worst sequences I've ever seen. I mean, when you think about what preceded it, the ability to prevent Miami from taking the lead, but you saved the timeout. For what reason? Cam Johnson, I mean, he had an opportunity to get the lead up to 19 in the third quarter. He missed it, and then the Heat went on a run. They scored their first 2 threes of the game, and then the lead was closed out. Clax didn't score a point in the second half. You could have drawn up a final play for him, and it would have been one of the most left field decisions, yet could have been a secret weapon because of how unpredictable it would have been. Instead, we go with the generic route of letting Mikal dribble out the clock. He doesn't pass to anyone. 3 players come over to help him out, and he fucking falters under pressure. One-on-one is okay. Maybe when there's 2 defenders on him is okay. But when you have 3 defenders on him and he is not good enough to find the open pass, mind you, he got the shot up with 4 seconds left, or 3.5 to 3 seconds. There is time to pass it off and get the shot up. There were open numbers on the weak side. There were open numbers over his left shoulder. At what point do you say enough is enough? We played an overtime period and only scored 95 points. We held them to 31 points. Couldn't have played a better of a defensive half and still managed to fucking lose the game. Only us, man. Only us. The Heat ended up getting, 31 from Jimmy and 29 from Herro. He started the game poorly, but in the second half, he heated up. Bam had 20 rebounds, which is absolutely cooked. Off the bench, they didn't really get much contribution, but Butler had 16 free throws. They just did enough. They only hit 8 threes on 26% shooting. They didn't shoot the ball well from the field. They had 12 turnovers. It really comes down to simple stuff. And it's as simple as saying the starters, if you're going to start the game and you're going to start the half, you need to start the game and the half well. It's that simple. And second of all, when your final shot, and this is talking about regulation, when your final shot in regulation is to take a 3 when you're up 2, or when you're down 1, and you only need a 2 to take the lead, why are you shooting 3s when you've missed 40 to 43 threes already in the game? It fucking baffles me, man. It baffles me. Why can we not draw up a good play on the final possession of a game ever? Why do we never ever close out games well? No matter what advantages we are hit with. For example, today, the Heat had played last night. We had 3 days off. And then before the Cavaliers game, we had another 3 days off. This team should have been rejuvenated. We should not have been seeing a starting lineup who was supposed to set the precedent for today all play 20 plus minutes today and put up as abysmal an amount of misses as they did today. It's like, at what point do you just say enough is enough and you need to change things and you need to play new personnel and you need to delve deeper into the rotation? When is the time you say enough is enough? You start the players that you finished the game with today. Dennis Smith had 4 steals and a block. We need that defensive intensity early on. And we need a little bit more oomph because we don't have any. In the starting lineup, they are too soft and they just, there's no ruthlessness about them. Nothing. And that's the reason the second half, first 6 minutes of the second half, they were all over us. All over. And that's why they cut the lead from 16 to basically nothing. Basically nothing. So, another loss. We have now lost 13 of our last 16 games. And if change isn't overdue, then I don't know what the word is to describe it, because change is overdue. It is overdue. It's been overdue for a long time. And if this game wasn't an indicator that the starters, as it currently sits, are not cutting it, then you've got issues, mate. As a coach, JV, if you cannot witness that with your own 2 eyes, you need to make change. Then you need to go to Specsavers and get your eyes checked. Anyone outside of Australia will not get that reference, but basically go to the optometrist and get your eyes checked, because I don't know what game you're watching. Quite frankly, the same shit is just going to continue to repeat itself again and again and again. He didn't call a timeout, and he's only got himself to blame. He did everything right in terms of making the right rotational switch to end the game. But for some bullshit reason, he saved the timeout as if he can use it next game. You can't use it next game, JV. You can't. And I would have thought coaching 400 games of NBA basketball would have taught you that. But apparently not. No more words to say from me. We will see you in 10 days when I return. But my job here today is done. We're just going to have to move forward and completely forget that this one happened. And I think it's best we do, because it was an abysmal watch. It would have been an absolute get out of jail free sort of situation if we did win. But the way we lost in the final 12 seconds of the game, when things could have been a lot better, or the outcome, the decisions we could have made, they were there. They were staring at us, and we didn't utilize all our resources. Nothing more I can say. Thank you for tuning in as always. We will see you in a little bit longer than soon. We'll be back, as you can see, for Nets Timberwolves on the 26th of January. But for now, I mean, all we can do is pray that there is sizable change from now to the next time I do one of these watch parties, because boy, oh boy, we need it. Anyway, thank you. Stay safe. We'll see you soon. And bye for now.